Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live stream. I feel like I start these every single week saying the same thing, but there's so much going on. There's so much happening. We're so excited to be here with you today. We're going to talk through everything that's going on and more. So if you have any questions, make sure you're logged into YouTube and you can throw them in the YouTube live chat. Make sure you're keeping it farmer friendly. And go in-game, go to the theater. You can live stream directly from the theater, and there is a small energy booster with the popcorn flying everywhere. So make sure you're in the theater, and yeah, let's bring up Luke.
Hey, everybody. Really exciting week this week. There won't be any big updates this week, but yeah, I'm going to basically start to plant some seeds. This will be kind of an AMA where we start to leak some of what we're planning on. And I think next week's AMA will be quite big when we get that one out. We'll kind of give you guys the whole rundown of what the plan is for the next 2 months and all that too. So definitely bookmark the next AMA because that one's probably gonna be pretty big. And we'll keep you guys updated transparently on what this all looks like. But yeah, I kind of wanted to go over today what the plan for the next 2 months is, start to hint towards like our mindset, what we're thinking, the way that we view how Pixels is doing right now, some of the issues we've seen, and then also some of the things that we're working on too. So I might start to leak some of the stuff around chapter 2, the way that we're thinking about chapter 2, what our plans are for that, give a little update on guilds, give a little update on realms, and kind of give you guys a picture of what all of these kind of look like together. So one, I want to just thank you all for continuing to be here and playing. Like, we're nothing without the community. And it's been so fun to see this community grow. It's how excited you guys are about the game, how excited you guys are about everything in general. It's been a ton of fun. And yeah, it's just been, we feel so lucky here at Pixels to be playing with all of you guys. Like, we're the ones that are building the game, right? But it's kind of like our own game that we're playing as we're building this game, if that makes sense. And it's been a ton of fun for me, at least over the last couple of months, just to see all of you guys with us, see the new growth. It's crazy to me that there's people in the Philippines right now that got up specifically at 4 a.m. to listen to this AMA. That's absolutely nuts. You guys are kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, you guys are the people that we really, really appreciate. So on all of those notes, because of the growth and the traction that we have right now, things are definitely moving. We've been hinting towards stuff for a while. I'm seeing a lot of reinvigoration of, when Pixel, that kind of got leaked a little bit. Some transparency around that When Pixel page. That was something that we had planned a while ago. We didn't quite pull the trigger on it. I'm still actually not sure if we're going to launch the campaign in that specific format. So I just want to completely give transparency around you. I love the When Pixels. We're not 100% certain that that's actually going to count towards anything. That page got leaked. But if you guys want to post it just because, then go ahead and do that. But yeah, so obviously it's starting to get to the next stages, right? We've been talking about the Pixel token for a very long time, and it's starting to feel right. Right? We have all the pieces together. We have a great game. We have stuff that's going to be using that token. So we'll start to give you guys more visibility on what exactly, all of that next stage is going to look like very soon. But I will say there's some really fun stuff coming involving that in the next, it'll be anywhere from 10 to 14 days at the max. What we want to do is we want to start running something that we think will push a little bit more growth before the holiday season starts. That way we can, kind of have that on autopilot. I can give the team a tiny bit of a breather before things get even crazier after the New Year for the US and Americans. I know Lunar New Year is a bit later. But yeah, the whole team is going to be quite busy for the next 3 months to make sure everything happens. And it's going to be a lot of work. So, we have a hard deadline internally on when we want to get these next stages out, this next growth push out in, the next 10 to 14 days, basically. So I'm expecting the next AMA to kind of go into what exactly that looks like. So tons of leaks, tons of alpha, just in all those statements. I think a lot of you might be able to guess what might be coming with that. But yeah, just get excited. And beyond any of the stuff that we have with growth and all that too, there's some other fun things that we just launched that are kind of tangential and not even related. So we just launched that partnership with CoinGecko and Gecko Terminal. That's super fun, right? We are about to release 2 new one-of-one pets. I guess they're 2 of 2 pets, right? But they're really cool. They work in game. They'll follow you. They'll be active right away if you win these geckos. you want to pull them up and show people what they look like? They are so freaking cute.
Yeah, you guys go to, I mean, you can just go to our Twitter page. We can show that page though, because we retweeted it. They're so cute. Or actually, I have a picture of, wait, I can do better. Give me like 2 seconds. I can
Can you preview it? Okay, yeah. So we're doing a tiny promotion with CoinGecko and Gecko Terminal. We created like custom pets for them. This is something that we'll probably keep doing a bit more because it's really fun. It's really easy for us to do this. And yeah, why not? So we're gonna work with a few more brands in the next month or two, come up with some more custom pets, do some more giveaways. It's just a fun thing. It doesn't really even like have an effect on the pet supply or anything like that. So why not? We'll only look for companies or partnerships that kind of give mutual benefit to Pixels, right? Where they start to expand us into some other audiences.
Heidi pet. Actually, I was thinking I want a lemon head pet that's like literally just a lemon with legs and like a face.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, guys, let us know in the comments how much Barry you would pay for a Heidi pet. And that will help us gauge some demand. Maybe do like 10 Heidi pets. And yeah.
Okay, here you go, guys. Here's the
little my God.
So it like waddles around. It's very, very cute.
That is insane. Yeah. Holding a little Bitcoin. Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah. Sorry, I probably should have gone to a land with more space, but here we go. So cute. So yeah, make sure you enter. So go to our Twitter page. We retweeted their announcement, which links to their like little system platform to enter the contest. So go do it. It's worth it. They're so cute, and there's 2 of them. Amazing. So yeah, next thing that we have coming up will be the second phase of the Mochiverse activation. What you guys are seeing with Mochiverse right now is just phase 1. That was like the basic stuff. Inside of that clubhouse, there's going to be a whole mini game loop and a whole leaderboard that you guys will be able to participate in. That's going to run for anywhere like 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, that's going to be super fun. It'll be pretty engaging. There's going to be some really cool rewards when it comes to things like realm points and all of that as well. So keep your eyes open for when that drops, because we're very excited about that. And yeah, some people have been a bit annoyed with the mochas covering the sauna. We might make some changes to those avatars. No, you know what's really funny about that? Okay, yes, we'll make changes to the avatars, but like I had put in a bunch of invisible walls, but people like so that the top half of it was still always going to be available to click, but people still didn't realize that. And so yeah, when I hopped in and saw there were fences added, I was like, why? But no, I understand. It's like the visual cue. So now you guys know there are walls there. There have been for like days, but there are walls there. And like Luke said, we're probably going to take a second look at the artwork and maybe make it a little smaller, just because people have been calling them Teletubbies, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed when I saw that. Yeah, so they might be getting a small art upgrade. We didn't expect so many of you guys to use it. It's crazy how many people signed up for the Mochiverse integration. So that's really good on the Pixel side of things. What we just proved to other partners in the future is how many signups we can get other projects. So it just unlocks more for us too moving forward. And us as a community, we'll be really aware of people that we work with moving forward. Like we only want to be working with the best people in the space when it comes to deeper integrations like that. And yeah, it's unlocking a lot, right? So appreciate all of you. Mochiverse is a top tier project. We're excited to be working with them, and we'll keep the standard that high with anybody else that we work with moving forward as well. We have to protect all of you, right? We don't want you guys to sign up for any scams. We want you guys to sign up for anything that we don't believe in. And yeah, I mean, I am so bullish on the Mochiverse ecosystem and what they're doing. And yeah, we'll continue to work with people like that. So fun too, seeing all these people with these new avatars and like celebrating with us. And then also in the future, like, obviously there's this major hype around Mocha ID right now, and everyone has them. I don't know. It's just gonna be so cool. Like the more like projects that we can give like our players access to like get their hands on these like free fun avatars and like stuff. I don't know. I just love it. It's been so fun. It's been such an amazing community building thing. So anyways, I'll stop ranting about community building for now. Exactly. So I saw a couple questions about pets utility, and maybe what I'll go into right now is roadmap on our end and what we expect with that. So our number one focus is chapter 2. In chapter 2, I leaked a little bit of what you can expect from chapter 2. I feel so good about our game design now. For like, this is the best I feel in the longest time, basically. Like we have a very clear vision of what the next 3 to 6 months look like at Pixels and what we should focus on. And it feels finally so cohesive. The game balance looks really good initially. Progression looks really good initially. I'm so excited to get Chapter 2 out. It's going to change a lot of the way that you guys play and interact with the game. It's going to add a lot of new stuff. It's going to add a lot of progression that you guys haven't really experienced in Pixels before. Right now, when you play Pixels, there's kind of progression. Like, right, you can work your way up to different crops. But what you can expect in Chapter 2 is different things that just make sense. So it's like different tools that you have to use and different tools that have different level requirements. So there's like, an iron, a copper, a bronze. We're going to figure out the names and all this stuff coming up. But basically, like different progression through tools like you would expect in MMO, different progression through, different access of features that you would expect in a typical MMO. Tons of new resources, tons of new content with that. I think there's over like, if I read it correctly, there's like 60 to 70 new resources that'll be coming out in Chapter 2. And it just makes so much more sense than some of the stuff you have in the game. So we're really, really excited about that. And it'll just make the game play and feel better. So yeah, that's coming in Chapter 2. So focus on basically core mechanics and systems changes. We talked a little bit about what that looks like with the guild system too. So one of the biggest changes in Chapter 2, which there might be a piece that is shipping a bit earlier too, we'll see. Something that we're debating is splitting up Chapter 2 into 2 parts, basically doing this guilds integration right away, and doing some of the resource generation changes right away, and then shipping dungeons or whatever you want to call it in a second update a bit later. That way we can kind of get the economics fixed first, do that as quick as possible, and then get out that nice exploration side of things after. And yeah, in that first half of the update, Chapter 2.1 or something, whatever we call it, Chapter 2, page 1, what it'll look like is the integration of guilds, guild permissioning, resource generation changing, all this MMO progression that we want to get in, all the resource tiering. Skills will be different a bit, but skill XP will be respected. None of your XP that you earn in the game will be thrown away, but it might be transferred into different skills. None of the resources that you earn in the game will be thrown away, but they might be used a bit differently moving forward. It's going to be a big change, which is really necessary. So again, we're going to respect all the progress that you made. Now it's basically just adding tiers, levels, progressions, and all of that on top of what we already did. So we're super excited about it. And yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on what exactly that looks like. And then we'll start to leak a bit more of it as we move forward. But then yeah, in addition to that, what we've been working on is, the whole exploration skill. And we're super excited about that. That's going to be like Chapter 2, page 2, basically it's looking like. So yeah, what that's going to combine in is one that's going to be kind of tied into the pixel. So competing through this exploration side of things is going to be a large way to earn pixel. We're expecting it to take collaboration with guilds and other users to actually be able to get through this end game too. So pixel will be a lot harder to earn than berry is to earn, basically. There's going to be a few ways that you can get it. One will be through interfacing with this exploration feature, getting through the end game. It gives us a much easier way to kind of give you incentives to participate through this end game. And then 2 other ways that you'll be able to earn pixel is through things like sharing the game, maybe referrals, we'll see on that one. And then progressing through like single player end game content too. When we think about reward distribution, what we think about is how can we create incentive structures that run themselves, that we're kind of hands off on, that that enable like good ecosystem behavior. Like the more decentralized that we can make this reward distribution, the better for us when it comes to just all of that. But that means we have to get really clear rules on what the reward distribution looks like. And those are the kind of rules that we want to set up. Basically, we want to set up things that reward, users that get through the game in a long time. Like we probably don't want to give pixel to a new user on their first day. Basically, we want to make you work for it a little bit. And we want to make sure that we reserve certain pools for different user personas. So reserving some pixel and giving them more tasks, giving landowners more tasks, giving VIP owners more tasks to earn it as well too. How we kind of view land ownership and VIP is kind of like a battle pass system, where essentially if you have one of these two, you get to have more chances to earn from different pools, essentially. If you ever played a game like Call of Duty, Clash of Clans, this battle pass system makes perfect sense to you already. You don't give people things when they buy battle passes for free. Not for free, I mean, but you still have to make them earn it. So in Clash of Clans, if you've ever played it, they have battle passes in that game. And basically the battle pass, what it gives you is extra opportunities to earn the coins in Clash of Clans. And we love that concept. It's basically the same aligned incentive structure that we want to create inside of our ecosystem. So yeah, that's what we're thinking about. So yeah, in terms of all of that, it's very close, right? Like if you looked into our timelines and you've listened to other AMAs, I don't want to say the exact date now, but I think you can infer like when we're planning to do things if you really want to do the detective work and sleuth. And everything is looking pretty good on that end. So yeah, for the first time, it's looking really good. It's looking like, everything is in place, and we'll keep you guys updated on that. So there's more I want to leak, but it's like, I think this next AMA is the AMA to leak some of this stuff. Where, yeah, come to the next AMA for sure. We're going to be talking more about early distribution of the Pixel token, is what I can say. What it looks like, what you're going to need to do, and kind of explain to you guys what all that looks like. And that's all I want to say about that now, essentially. So read into that what you will.
I just really enjoyed this comment. Sorry. It's I dream that I live in Terravilla. Like we all live in Terravilla, let's be honest, Okay. All right, Luke, should we hop into questions?
Yeah. Oh, I was seeing some questions around reputation. And that's something that I can talk about really quickly too. So reputation is still a system that we're tweaking, right? When we released it, remember we said it was going to be experimental. We needed to make some changes. We have some more stuff that will be coming in really soon that will increase your reputation. Like one of the easier things right now that we were probably going to add in quite soon is if you connected to Mochiverse, that's an easy one for us to give you more reputation around. We'll start to do some other cool things, like if you have a certain amount of RON in your wallet, or if you have like Axes in your wallet, we can automatically give you reputation as well. And yeah, there's other things that we're planning on as well too. We have a couple of other partnerships in the pipeline that'll be kind of cool. There's a few people that we've been working with that might be able to like read Steam accounts, where that's a really interesting way that we could give a lot more reputation if you connect a Steam account. There's probably more quests that we can give as well too when those are out. And yeah, we're working on the reputation system. It's not perfect right now, but it's working okay for right now. So
yeah, the more data points we have, the better, right? Which is basically what Luke is speaking to. There's not enough right now, and we're working really hard to like make sure that we are getting like the right ones and balancing it correctly, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's been some questions about like some of the automated reputation stuff that we've done. So number one, if both of you have VIP, there should be no issue when it comes to gifts and trades. What we look at when we think about like negative reputation values for trades is like, does it look like a bot is giving something to a collector account? To be completely transparent around that. That's what we care about, since behavior that you see a lot of the times is players make 10, 30 accounts, or they'll multi-account and then they'll trade a couple of accounts. That's the behavior that we want to lower the reputation around, so that we can lower impact on the berry currency and the soft currency, right? So yeah, there's also some other changes that we're about to make to core systems, especially when chapter 2 is out, that will probably allow us to lower the need and lower the limits around reputation as well. So we don't have to get so strict on trading. We don't have to get so strict on all of this too. What's interesting is basically these incentive structures to cheat the system are in place when you set up things in certain ways. And if we can change a few things, then those incentives to even behave in this bad way are kind of mitigated essentially. So we think about that a lot. So that was a lot about chapter 2 and reputation also. Maybe I can start to hint towards chapter 3 and what we're thinking. So chapter 2, it's looking like the first piece of it we might be able to get out in January to February. Second piece might be more like February to March, maybe a little bit later. Trying to be cautious on what exactly we promise in terms of timelines, but we want to line up the first piece with another thing that we're doing as well, say there. And when we think about chapter 3, that's when we're going to start to focus a bit more on pets and more competitive elements through these pets. That's generally the high-level plan right now. So chapter 2, introduce a new skill called exploration. Chapter 3, expand upon pet gameplay, and expand upon like player-to-player interactions through the pet gameplay. So Yep, that's fun. And yeah, we're digging into all of that.
Okay, let's dive into some questions. Let's see here. Already actually talked about a lot of this kind of stuff. Okay, carnival tickets. So I'm still racking up these carnival tickets. Any new plans to use them in the future?
Yeah, I want to do some other interesting giveaways with these carnival tickets coming up. Yeah, I think the carnival is something we want to keep in the game, and we'll just do some like other promotions with it too. Like if we ever have anything that we want to give away, carnival tickets are a really fun way to do it. If we have like a new mini game that we want to test and experiment with, add carnival tickets for that as well too. And then yeah, there's some interesting stuff that we might be able to do in terms of like giving a land away a week or something like that. That would be a really easy thing for us to set up. So yeah, talking to the team to see if we can get something, before the holidays and kind of going. But it makes sense to do that, right? If we remove left right from the game, that was the most bottable game, then it should kind of minimize bot impact on that. We've already been banning more and more bots too. So yeah, there's some stuff that we can do that will probably protect that. And on this note too, yeah, so bots buying VIP definitely can happen. And what we do is we still do a lot of bot bans, or at least we do trade restrictions on a lot of bots. So if you've played a game like RuneScape or World of Warcraft, we do something kind of similar with our approach to them, where if people in World of Warcraft, they bought a lot, they get in trouble for the good amount. And what happens is when a bot gets banned, they'll have to go and purchase the game again. Like they'll have to get a new copy of the game, and they'll have to get a new subscription of the game. It's actually quite expensive to get caught when you bought in World of Warcraft. And it's a shame because these players actually sometimes bought on their real accounts, and then they lose all of their World of Warcraft account progress. But the end effect is that they kind of come out in negative EVs sometimes. If you ban a World of Warcraft account before it's extracted enough World of Warcraft gold, then yeah, you don't have the same incentive structure for it. So with us, we're kind of moving away from banning. We still want to respect progress. And what we just do is we remove their ability to trade if we catch them. So they basically get all of their resources locked up. They can still play single player, but if you cheat and break the rules, you can't participate in the Pixels economy, basically. So that's the whole point behind that one.
Okay. Would love if you guys add a way to disable visibility of other players. Harvesting becomes annoying, especially when they stand on top of the plot. So this is a really good idea, and I'll let Luke speak to the technicality of it and maybe probability. But for stuff like this, make sure you're putting them in Canny. It's our feature request system. I know I bring this up literally every week, but it's so important that you guys are aware of it and also putting things in there because we are reading it constantly. So go to the help center on the top bar. It says feature request. Go to Canny and put this there, and then people can upvote it.
Yep. Okay. We have some more questions. That was a good idea.
Do you want me to grab one?
Yeah, somebody hates the reputation system. Yeah, so reputation is a double-edged sword, right? What we need to do on our end is we need to make sure that it's easier to get reputation if you're a real user, and make it hard to get reputation if you're not a real user. So reputation right now is a negative, or it's a necessary evil, right? Where the impact of bots will ruin the game much more than some of the other systems that we've been implementing, right? Like bots make the game less fun, they make the game feel less fair, and they just make things worse in general. And it's funny because sometimes we get people hating the reputation system, and we actually find out that they were running a bot account or they were running a bot farm. So I'm not saying that you are, but just note sometimes that if we get FUD in the Discord, or if we get FUD in like some of these chats, maybe dig into that specific user a bit more if you're just a real player in a better
They're always
one.
the loudest. The ones
Yeah,
that come
well,
firing are usually up to something.
Yeah, if you've ever played an MMO, you know how this goes basically. Like, people cheat then, and sometimes they cheat on their real accounts, which is a shame. Where it's like you shouldn't cheat on a real account that you really care about, because then you have violated terms of service. You risk losing that account. But um, yeah, sometimes in the Discord you'll just see people who have like nothing to lose since their account's banned, because they were cheating, make a big fuss. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Okay. Let's see
Oh, so
here.
then yes.
Oh, sorry,
Oh, nice.
I brought up a different one. Okay, well, anyways, when new event. So phase one of our Mochiverse partnership went live last week. And so obviously phase two is coming very, very soon. And it will be a game loop, a fun game in pixels, kind of like we've done in the past, if you've been around for a bit. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It is coming very, very soon. And it will be
Yeah.
very fun and exciting.
And what I can say too is there's going to be something else on top of that as well. And that will be kind of the focus of the next AMA.
Okay.
And I don't want to leak too much more of that. But yeah, that other thing that I'm talking about, that will be a pretty big growth push that we start. So yeah, I'm not sure if that will go out next week for sure. I think the target date that we were looking at was like December 14th to the 20th to start running this campaign. And yeah, that'll be a huge thing. So we're excited to get that one kicked off. Will lead to a lot of growth. I think a lot of you will be pretty happy when all that's announced. And that'll be something we probably run for like 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, let's see here. Will there be a Christmas event? No comment.
Somebody asked about VIP. Will it be fixed at $35 US? So yeah, we just actually adjusted the price today because the Ronin token went up like 30% from last Friday. We didn't want you guys to wait another couple of days, so we just adjusted it again because we'll probably have to adjust it again on Friday as well too. So yeah, there's just a VIP price adjustment. If you guys hadn't been paying attention, you can go take a look at that. Will likely be readjusted again on Friday. Yeah, we're gonna keep it fixed to that US dollar price.
Yeah, so we generally readjust it every Friday, but like Luke said, we just saw it needed to be readjusted a little earlier this week, so we did so. But yeah, you can usually expect it on Fridays. Okay. Ooh, I like this question. What are your favorite avatars, Luke?
I'm still a huge Subway Rat fan. That's the one that I'll be rocking if you ever see me in game. It's a little rat with a piece of pizza on top of it.
Yeah, I love Subway Rats. I've got one with like a little party hat that I wear often. I'm still obsessed with my OG rainbow glizzy gang, which you guys probably see me in the most. I think I'm that character right now. It's like a rainbow hot dog. Obsessed with that one. I also love pixel beasts. I have a bunch of them. I usually use my little chick the most. So me and Chicken Pet walk around as like little matching tiny chickens in the game. Cyber snails are so fun too.
I mean,
These are a
aren't
lot
these
of
just
like
like so hilarious and fun? Like, what other game can you walk around as a hot dog in?
no,
It's hilarious.
exactly.
We love
Okay,
this.
hold on. Now I'm looking at them. Of course, farmhands. They're great collection. I love Girls Gang. I have like a pink kind of like rainbow Girls Gang. If you don't know what Girls Gang is, it's like teeth. It's like girls. It's like teeth with like eyes. It's just like exactly. It's just ridiculous. Like what? But anyways, I would say most of the time I'm in my glizzy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here. Why do you even allow multi accounts?
Yeah, so by the rules we don't. But the issue is enforcement. Like we want to allow like families to play the game. That's an important thing, like multiple members of a household. So the official rule is if you're abusing the rules, which means playing multiple counts at a time, botting, cheating, automation, then that is rule breaking, and we have the right to decrease your access to the Pixels economy. So yeah, what we're more focused on is creating incentive structures that make this not viable and make this not make sense to do basically. So there's rules that we can add but then it's like, how do we actually enforce the rules? And what is the approach to the rules? And our preference is to come up with systems that make this not have to be an issue in general, right? So how do we make a system where it's not our subjectivity, it's not, us doing all this, like essentially we can have it going without any human interfacing, and then we make it harder to make multi accounts. So adding like higher requirements around like some of the soft KYC pieces, for example, like connecting a phone number doesn't work at all. We found like you can just spin up multiple phone numbers and make multiple accounts. But if we make it harder for you to make multiple accounts that get the reputation limits that they need to actually trade and like affect the pixels economy, that's kind of the thinking there, right? So some of you don't like the reputation system for that reason, because it makes setting up multiple accounts a lot harder. And for that one, I don't actually feel very bad. I'm sorry. That's kind of the point of the reputation system, where if you have multiple accounts, sure, that's great, but then probably only one of them might have the reputation that it needs to actually trade and to like participate fully in the pixels economy, right? So that's more of the approach, like creating automated systems that remove our judgment out of the process and allow us to give you more trust to a single account, because the multi-account impact is bad actually. If you guys have multiple accounts, it's a huge advantage over other users, and that's not something that we want to encourage. Like, we want this game to be fun and casual. We don't want you to have to spend hours and hours and hours grinding to feel like you need to catch up. And if you have to compete against people with 10 accounts that are doing this all day, that's not very fun and fair, right? So our goal is to create incentive structures and systems that make it fair, essentially.
And like some of you just said too, you're saying that people with multi accounts have an advantage, but we're purposely designing the game so that's not a thing, right? So it goes back to these incentive structures and like game design as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, we already answered a bunch of these.
I just want to pull this one up and then not answer it, because I just want to say that you guys are really bad at reading hints is all I want to say. So yeah, you guys are so bad at reading hints.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we already talked about a lot of this stuff. Oh, okay. I pulled this aside. I will go to farm 177, which is my land, after the AMA, and I will say this a bunch of times. So if there's any of you guys, okay, let me explain. There's some sort of contest right now, and one of the things they have to do is take a screenshot with me in game saying Pixels is the best game. So I've done this like 100 times now. I will go to 177 after the AMA. I'll go to the very top of it on the little dance floor, and I will say this a bunch of times if there's any of you guys that need your screenshot. Okay? I am Lemonhead in game. Also, my name isn't Heidi, it's Lemonhead, and I'm the Rainbow Glizzy. So I'll see you there.
That's actually hilarious.
I know. I was so confused at first. There's like all these people just being like, hey, can you say this? Oh, wait, can you say it again? I missed it. I'm like, why? Okay. All right. Yeah, we've addressed so many of these questions already. Is there anything specific you want to talk about?
Yeah, maybe let's talk about Barry really quickly. So I need you guys to always understand, I have to be very careful with the way that I talk about things sometimes. It's quite important as a project founder to set expectations clearly. Two, not promise anything that we can't promise. Three, to make sure that we're talking about things in like a compliant way as well too. But yeah, Barry right now as is, I would say is like a key issue in Pixels, and it's what I am spending all night thinking about lately. And yeah, all I can say is that there's going to be some changes that we make to Barry. One, chapter 2 is going to change up resource generation quite drastically. And that's something we think about a lot. That's something we've been planning and researching a lot too. But then there also might be some other things that we consider with it as well too. But yeah, I want to flag it. I think Barry's a key concern right now. And it's something that I'm thinking about basically 24/7. and thinking about like what makes sense in the long run and how can we make the game as fun as possible and what that means for all of this too. So that's all I can speak on it. But all I want to just say is that we think about that quite often, and yeah, it's something that we're actively making changes to right now in order to protect like the future of the game and the fun of the game.
Okay, yeah, someone asked this earlier. Can you publish a summary of the important information from this stream in a notice on Discord? So yes, we do this every single week. What you should do is go to Discord right now, go to the roles channel and select, I think it's called info, the info role. Select that and you'll actually get notified every time we post a recap. There's a channel called Info and Recaps, and I would say like 99% of the things that get posted in there are the AMA recaps. Maybe occasionally we'll throw some like info thing in there, but yeah, so make sure you have that role and then you'll get a notification of when it's posted. And huge shout out to Dom, who used to do them. He was one of our community team members for a very long time. He recently stepped down. Shout out to him. He used to do them all the time. Nelly also has stepped up and does them a lot. So she, shout out to her as well. She's wonderful. It's a lot of work to write recaps. So I know you're listening. So we love you. We love you, Nelly. Thank you. Okay, let's see.
Yep, I'm going through some stuff. I'm starting some more things. I
Okay.
will say I had a hard stop at 1 p.m. our time this time now.
Hard stop, guys. So get your good questions in now.
I'm seeing some good ideas in these chats. I'm starting some stuff right now, and we'll go through some of the stuff.
Great ideas. We love hearing all your ideas. Also, please throw them in Canny. Luke, do you play pixels yourself? No, see, Luke just walks around and tells people to give him loaves.
Yeah, it's funny. My play style, it's funny because I played a lot of Stardew Valley and I played a lot of MMOs. My play style is more on the social side of things. I just like hanging out, chilling, chatting. And yeah, if you catch me in pixels, I'm just gonna mess around with people a lot. That's kind of how I like to do things. So I'm excited to get more of the MMO progression for myself into. And yeah, I think some of the game changes get me really excited about the future of the game. I like grinding skills. I like doing all that. I know that you guys are a lot of that user persona as well, and all of that's going to make a lot more sense as we start to move forward. Yeah, it's just going to feel like I don't know, more of my old RuneScape days moving forward.
Okay, this is another kind of funny question. Heidi, why is your Discord status always set to playing that game? Okay, what you're talking about is, I actually don't even know how to pronounce the name of it, like A Sprite, S Sprite, SC Sprite, whatever. It's not a game, it's a pixel art software. So it just means that I'm doing my job all the time and I never close anything on my laptop. That's basically why it's always open. But yeah, it's pixel art software. So it's like what you use to create pixel art. The reason it shows up as a game is because you actually buy it through Steam, and then Discord thinks it's a game because it's from Steam. But anyways, if you guys want to play around pixel art, I would highly recommend Asprite. It's a cool system. But anyways, I get asked this 24/7, so I just wanted to address it. Okay, back to the hard questions. What do we have here?
Yeah, I just started a bunch. I just realized if I keep scrolling through these questions, it's never going to end.
No, just address them. I'll keep looking
Okay,
through
great.
them.
Yep. So yeah, there's some issues with the Ronin app on mobile, and yeah, what's crazy is a large percentage of our users are on mobile right now. So yeah, we'll start addressing some more of these mobile bugs. As we start to polish things out more. What's great is like I know there were a bit of server issues yesterday, but like server stability is a lot better now. So team can start to focus on some of the other polish and UX as well. We have a couple of really big things that we're working on right now. The whole team is like we're building some crazy stuff right now. Like the whole point for the next like month or so is like we'll launch something in like the next 2 weeks that's gonna get a lot of attention. But then yeah, we're working on some like bigger initiatives too. That will be like, a month or two in development, and that'll bring some pretty big game changes. So yeah, we also need to focus on some of this polish and stuff as well too. We'll make sure that this one's fixed quickly because this one's probably kind of game breaking. Somebody suggested something around multi-accounting, which I actually hadn't ever seen this before, and this is kind of interesting. Basically registering accounts to the same household so that if we see accounts on the same IP or accounts on the same network, we don't, automatically assume it's one person with a ton of accounts. And that way they can still play in the same household. They feel safer. We know that way too. And then you stop trading between them. Not a bad idea, honestly. I think we'll look into that. Appreciate you bringing that one up. Is there a use case for Berry aside from just the farm token? We need a use case for Berry. What's funny is there's a lot of use cases for Berry right now, right? There's more coming too. But what we saw when we moved and got more growth recently is some of you do view Berry as just a token to get and then sell, which is not a bad thing. And it's kind of expected, right? But it's a new user persona that we just hadn't really anticipated would be coming in this amount of numbers for the place that we're in right now, right? And that's a normal persona in Web3 that you can't ignore. So yeah, some of the systems that we have coming forward kind of address this. We're thinking about this a lot. Basically the different player personas that exist in Web3, how to balance all of them, how to make sure incentive structures are aligned. What that probably looks like in the long run is, we think about the pixel token a lot when we think about token sustainability, and that's kind of the focus in the short to medium term. But play to earn maybe looks a little bit different under the pixel token, where probably only like 10 to 20% of like the top users might earn the pixel token, and you might not earn it coming in day one into the game. You might have to work your way up to get some of these rewards. So yeah, we think about that one a lot. So one, it's just like the generation, the incentive structures behind tokens really matter. Two, user personas and thinking about them matters a lot too. And then three, yeah, there are changes coming to what we're doing with the Berry token as well, and more will be said on that soon. Yeah, we do have an updated light paper already that's being sent to all of the parties. I've just been trying to figure out how much I want to leak right now. So I think when we start to give a bit more information on the pixel token, that's when we drop the new light paper on how all of it works. There's also just been some changes behind the scenes too. So yeah, note that we're learning a lot in the last month even. So some of the things we thought were going to work really well with Pixel, we're changing a little bit. We're focusing a lot on long-term with that token. Like, how do we make something that everybody is incentivized to make work for years and years and years? How do we create good structures around that? How do we make sure that early players feel rewarded? How do we make like sustainable systems? There's a few things that we have been tweaking a little bit too. So we want to make sure that we have like a final version before we get it out as well to the public. But you shouldn't see that in too long from now. Basically, it's almost completely figured out. Essentially, what we're trying to do internally is get like final drafts on everything this week. Tokenomics, white paper, all of that.
I missed the question, but someone was asking about like future pets, like new types. Do you want to just roughly address it?
Yeah, we have like over, I think like 20 types or something like that ready. So yeah,
Yeah, is it 12? I don't know.
Oh, I think it's more than 12. I think some are more ready than others. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are going to be launching those pretty soon. So the thing that I've been debating is if we do a Petmin and Berry first.
Sorry. Our teammate Tyler just messaged both of us more than 12 in all caps. Well, how many is it?
More than 12, maybe less than 20.
Somewhere in between.
Right. But yeah, the plan around that is basically like we're holding them off for Pixel. That's going to be one of the immediate use cases of Pixel token, minting pets. So that'll be super fun when we do the first like limited mint of pets in the Pixel token. There's debate on our end if we want to move one pet mint forward to a certain subset of users and do that in Berry token. That's something that we're open to and we might be doing. That's still TBD. And we'll try to come up with a decision around that by the end of this week. Kind of ties into some other plans that we have as well, potentially. So Yeah, that'll be fun. We want to get more out soon. And then, yeah, we'll keep doing these one-on-one pets too. But yeah, there's only going to be those Genesis pets that minted. Now there's no more minting in the Genesis pets. So those dinos, that'll be the only time you can ever get those. Locked in at that rarity now. And the other pets moving forward will be different types of pets. I don't think they're as cool as the dinos. But then, yeah, there will also be difference between stats in these other pets moving forward too. So dinos will have the highest base stats on them. And yeah, even if you get like all the best potions on these other pets, you won't get quite as high of stats as the dinos had.
Okay. Okay, we've got a ton of new questions rolling in. Okay, let me just like whip through a few of them. Okay, can you put subtitle option on videos and broadcasts? So, first of all, I'm sorry that Luke and I are only fluent in English. We totally like. There's so many of you that speak so many other languages, and I wish we could fluently do these AMAs in all of them. So I'm sorry, we can't. But there are different AI tools out there that can like live, like in real time, create different voiceovers or subtitles in your various languages. So I would suggest looking into that. I will say though, after the AMA, maybe give us like an hour or two, subtitles are added to the videos, the recordings of our AMAs in around 15 different languages. So you can wait until after the fact and then read along and listen then. Any update on merch shipping? I think it's going to start shipping today. I think they're starting to ship today. So shipping, I think so, because I think he said December 6th. So I'll double check with our merch guy, Ryan. But I think it's going to start today. So if they're shipping from LA, so if you're in North America, I don't know, a week or two, and then the rest of the world, obviously it'll take a little bit longer, but I'm so excited. So excited. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Are there incentives on having high reputation scores? So the whole reputation system is like the higher you have, the more like abilities you have in game, right? Like you get to fully participate in the Pixels economy, like completely the higher your score. So like that's your that's your incentive. I know you're asking for something more, but like that's your incentive.
But also there might be something more. We've been talking about this a lot when it comes to next stages. Yeah, in the short term too. It might be worth thinking about that as well, say.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of reputation, the butter wine quest should add reputation. I hear you. That quest is a doozy. That is so hard. So yeah, it's probably a good one to add reputation. You know you're committed when you've completed that quest, I have to say. Will new towns or maps be created aside Terravilla in the future? Okay, so if you've been around for a while, you'll know that Terravilla used to be massive. So the main map was the same as the one that you guys are used to now, but there used to be 6 other maps that surrounded Terravilla Central. So there was Northwest, North, like all of the places basically. And we created those maps in anticipation of like, oh, we'll fill them out over time. But we found that we kind of got ahead of ourselves with that. We made the maps too big. And like to get to the sauna before, you guys don't even know. Getting to the sauna before, if you had less than, 2%, sorry, 2% energy or something, you walk so slowly, you had to walk forever. It was funny, but it was annoying. So we shrunk the map. We got rid of all of those. The first edition we've made is the carnival map. There might be something, oh no, wait, it was Shoreline, and then the carnival map, which is now connects to Shoreline. There might be another map coming in the south, maybe. Wait and see. But yes, things are coming, and the difference is that we're taking the approach of like, when we create a map and we publish the map, there's a reason to be there, as opposed to like we had maps before that we were like, oh, we will fill them out, and it just like it didn't work out. So we experimented, didn't work out. So now we're doing something the opposite way. Okay.
Get a gym in town. Yeah, I love the Ronin gym. I would love to get the Ronin gym inside of Pixels. I think that'd be hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, chapter 2 is where we're thinking about some more systems like this. So progression is going to look a lot better in chapter 2. I'm not going to say that we're going to do a gym, but I love the whole Ronin gym memes. I need to post more Ronin gym pics too. I go to the Ronin gym all the time. Um,
I saw a tweet today that was like business model idea, gyms that only charge you when you don't go. I was like, that would be an incentive.
one
Okay.
thing I really want to do, if you guys know any good Web3 fitness trackers, this is something I've been interested in for a while. And this is just like complete nonsense. So don't read too much into this. But I think it'd be really, really cool to start to add some kind of element of interoperability with one of these Web3 fitness trackers like Step In or like some of the other ones that are out there. I think like Sweatcoin is one, right? Something like that.
I
Um,
wouldn't be surprised if Sweatcoin was a thing.
Yeah, but how sweet would it be if, like, you progressed further in one of those games, we had some kind of element inside of Pixels that was respected? Maybe I think the
Yeah,
devs would
I
hate it
remember
if
we
we
talked
walk
about this
faster.
years ago of like, yeah, somehow like integrating with like a step counter or something. But anyways, okay. Can we add nighttime for Terravilla? Okay, I'm just gonna say no. We get asked this a lot, and before I dive into reasons why, it just probably not gonna happen. And the reason is that we basically have to redo all of the art. And no, we can't just add like a sheer gray thing across because it will look terrible.
Yeah,
So it would
so
be a significant amount of work that wouldn't really like have a true like benefit, if that makes sense. Like,
for now, yeah.
yeah,
But maybe
exactly.
later. So I think one thing that we are going to start doing is we're going to bring on a bit more art help. That way we can start actually building in some of the more fun stuff like new maps and areas a bit easier. We're just a little bit resource constrained when it comes to art. When we
Yeah,
start to unblock that pipeline, it'll be pretty interesting.
yeah. Okay, we have like 5 minutes of your time left. So is there anything you wanted to address?
Is there any plan to implement land competitions inside of Pixels? Um, yeah, all I'll say that sounds a lot like something we're planning.
Luke has a low rep score. Guys,
I
actually,
have
I should go
VIP.
check
I have an old account in VIP. What do you? I don't even think that's true. I have an older account than you, Jen.
I would hope so. Oh man. Okay. Someone said you need to be nicer to me. I don't know what you said, but yeah, be nicer to me. Okay. Mm. All right. Is there anything specific you want to talk about?
Somebody asked more about pets. So yeah, we do want more people to have pets. That is kind of a priority right now. Like we want pet types to be rare. We want less rare pet types also. If that makes sense. Like when you play Pokemon, right? You come out with like a level 3. We want to start to introduce more level 3 to 5 Pokemon, or like pets inside of the game, right? We want like entry levels, and we want rarity to be respected too. So these Genesis pets that we just introduced, we want these to be like the best ones. But then we want to start to get more entry level stuff into the game too.
Okay, I would love this. Like the best days ever in Stardew Valley are when it's raining, so you don't have to like waste your time and energy and whatever to water your crops. I'm not sure if this will come in Pixels anytime soon, but I hear you.
Yeah, and then will there be more ways to win Barry than farming, cooking, wine, making? Yeah, so what I'll say is like even the way that you earn the berry currency in chapter 2 is going to be completely different. We have a whole new system around that that's going to make a bit more sense. And it's actually going to vary the gameplay a lot too. Um, how much do I want to talk about this? Um, hmm. There's some cool
Hmm.
stuff that we're doing that will change the way that you generate the currency very differently than what you do now. I don't. I want to leak it, but I don't want it to be taken the wrong way either. Um, yeah, the plan with Barry is, or at least with like resource generation, is like in chapter 2, we're probably removing the store, but we're replacing it with a different system. And that system will kind of operate in the same way as a store, but it's going to be unique to each player. So you'll get like different tasks that you can do. to generate berry, and they'll be randomly generated for each player each day. And it's a really cool system that we have where it's like, if we want more, pot berries to be burned one day or taken out, we can get more tasks around that. That's all a leak on that. So yeah, some people have been talking about Hazel getting removed. It doesn't quite have the same effect I think some people might be thinking there. But yeah, again, like chapter 2 is going to be really, really different, guys. That's just what I want to kind of convey there.
So excited.
And yeah, I think that's about all that we have time for today. Someone keeps asking about fishing and when Heidi quest.
This might be a very specific Tyler that we know.
Yeah, why don't you answer this one then, Tyler?
There you go. All right.
Okay, I think we just leaked so much stuff today. We gotta shut this down now.
Like
Before I say anything else.
I love it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we gotta head out. Hard stop today, but I will go to 177 and say Pixels is the best game on repeat, so you guys can get your contest entry. I'll be there right now for like the next couple minutes, so go immediately. And with that, thank you all for all your questions, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.